Okay, we'll get started now. Thank you guys all for coming. I know we're like in the middle of like our midterm project, so thank you for coming to lecture. Today we're going to be talking about FigJam and Figma Community. This would be like a generally pretty chill lecture, so don't have to worry about like memorizing so many tools like we usually do. But yeah, we'll do like a midterm check-in and then talk about FigJam and then Figma Community and then just kind of discuss like how to find inspiration for your designs. As per usual, this is the attendance link, so feel free to write this down or fill it out and then wait for the secret word at the end of lecture. But I'll give you a second to do that. And then this is also the slide deck link. There'll be some like clickable links in the slides when we're talking about like the demo for FigJam and then also a bunch of other Figma community examples. So those will be useful if you want to check those out. So you can type this link in to find these slides. They are updated, I checked. But so I hope you guys all understand like what the midterm is about by now. And hopefully some of you have started, but just to kind of like get a gauge of how it's going for everyone, can you hold up like on your fingers like a one if you've chosen your prompt, two if you've already started brainstorming, and three if you're like started designing? Where's like everyone at? It's okay if you are at zero. That's fun. Okay, okay. So a good mix. No worries. You have like another week. And then also lab. This week will be like critiquing like what you have already. So try to get like at least choose your prompts by like after today, if you can. But otherwise, yeah, if you have any questions about like the midterm or want advice or feedback, feel free to reach out to your TA or to me. We are happy to help you. Any questions about the midterm that I can answer now? Okay. So we'll dive right in to talk about FigJam, which is like the sister of Figma design files, which is more about brainstorming and collaboration, rather than like strictly designing like a lot of details and functional things. So you can think of FigJam as a big playground whiteboard that's really focused on collaboration between different users. And a lot of brainstorming and ideating happens in FigJam. So, like Figma, it's still vector based and it has a lot of tools to better allow you to live brainstorm and diagram within a team, but it just is like a lot simpler for this specific purpose. So this is what like the workspace looks like. It's you might notice like there's no fancy design panel or layers panel because in FigJam, they don't really want you to focus on those like nitty-gritty details, but it's very simple and you just have like basic tools on the bottom, which are like a marker, sticky notes, shapes, and like connectors and other interesting little tools. But yeah, it's very, very simple. And it's actually the bottom toolbar. But oh wait, sorry. Top toolbar is just like sharing and like users. And then you can find like different templates for different things that you can do in FigJam, like brainstorming sessions or like a user journey map out and stuff like that. There's also like a cool feature that's a built-in timer. So you can click on that and then set like a timer for however many minutes you want. Like if your team is gonna like brainstorm for 15 minutes, you can set that timer and it'll like play fun music if you want, and then like it'll go off on everyone's computer. So even if like you're not in person together, if you're like on Zoom or something, if you're all on this file, the timer will go off for everyone. And then also commenting, which is the same as the regular Figma files. So yeah, again, like a lot of collaboration tools that are accessible in FigJam. And you also have like cursor chat, which is the same as in your design files. But yeah. So in your bottom toolbar, this is where all of your things to actually place down on your FigJam workspace is housed. So this is the main toolbar, which has basically like all the simple tools that you need. And this is kind of the extent of those tools as well in FigJam. Not quite as versatile or powerful as like design file tools. Like there's no pen tool, there's no components or prototyping or any of that, but this just gets down to like the basis of what you need. So you have like a marker, selection tool, and hand tool, just to like move around your page. And then you have sticky notes, which are really, really useful, I think. That's probably like the most used thing in FigJam for me. So you can like choose the color and you can just like quickly place it down and then type. You have different shapes and connectors to connect shapes or blobs. And then text, which is also very simplified. And then you can also create sections to organize all of your stuff. And then you have also cool stamps and emotes, which are different ways to like react to other people's stuff. And then some other plugins and widgets and stuff. So the marker tool is basically like the pencil tool in the Figma design files. So it's like free form. You can just like click and draw wherever you want. It's not uh, like any nodes or anything that you adjust, but it's like basically like doodling. And yeah, you can like annotate things or add little doodles to whatever you have on your workspace. And it's automatically like smoothed out lines as well as what happens with the pencil tool. But like I said, you can't edit any nodes on these lines that you draw. So, but you can adjust like the color and stroke size. So there's like not a lot to do with this, but it's like just enough what you need for this. And the shortcut is just M. Next is the shape tool. So these are like kind of the different shapes that you can create. I think they have like some other preset like examples of like more complex shapes or like different styles if you explore those. But yeah, once you create a shape, you can change the fill color and the outline of that as well. And also like the style, I believe. But yeah, it like if you click the shapes on the bottom, it'll just pop up a little panel of the different options, and then you also have lines and also like curved lines within the shapes panel. So that this is like when you make a shape, you'll see like a small like black panel pop up. The same with like text and everything that you make. Instead of having like a big design panel on your right, it's just like a little pop up that's like right above the object. And this way you can quickly change the shape or change the color or the stroke weight. And then you'll see like the options of colors. They give you like a preset palette of like the rainbow and some lighter shades of that just to like make it a lot easier. And then you can also like choose your own color as well, but it simplifies that experience for you, I guess. And then you can also do different kinds of outlines, so solid outline, dashed outline, or none. Yeah. So also, if you put down a shape, you can also add text right into it. And it's kind of like already encompassed in that shape without having to like adjust the like padding or whatever. So if you double click on any shape, you can add text and then customize that text with different formatting options like bold, strike through. You can add a link, you can make a list in it, and then also change like the size. So it kind of gives you like presets of like small, medium, large, extra large of fonts instead of having to like type in 24 or like 48 to make it bigger. And then there's like, instead of giving you a giant list of fonts or typefaces, they give you also like a few like stereotypical styles. So there's just like the regular sans serif, or they have like a handwritten script one, or like a typewriter or a serif. So yeah, again, super, super quick to just be able to put text down. And then I mentioned before, but connectors are part of like the shapes area. This just allows you to make arrows between shapes or objects on your workspace to kind of like create a flow. Yeah, and there's also ones with elbows that like bend or just straight lines. And the keyboard shortcut for these connectors is X. So here's like an example of making a connection between shapes that have text in them. So kind of similar to what prototyping looks like. If you select a shape, then you'll see like a little plus button pop up around it. And then you can click and drag from these like buttons to other shapes to make those connections automatically. And then, yeah, you can like kind of create a flow of the different objects and elements in your canvas. But yeah, to connect two objects, just hover above, below, on either all four sides of a shape, and then click the add button to form those connections. Yeah, connectors can also be drawn from like a shape that you already have on your workspace to create a new one. So if you only have one shape and then you want to create another one that goes from that shape with the arrow already attached, you can just create the connector and then the next shape will pop up as the first one is. Yeah, so helpful for diagramming and visual mapping. So once you make a connector, you can also adjust it as you go. So you can adjust the different handles of it to create, more like bumps in the elbow connector. Or you can just create it to be a straight line or vice versa. So yeah, very customizable after you put it down. So on your toolbar, you also have like a library of different stickers, templates, widgets, plugins, and more. Stickers are like something that was created by the Figma team just to kind of like spice up FigJam and give some decoration because why not? And there's a lot of cute stickers that you can just like add to your library and then you can put it down on any FigJam workspace and it makes it a lot cuter and more fun to interact with. You can also import code blocks, a timer, and other really cool features. There's one cool one that's like a Polaroid camera. So if you put that down on your FigJam, anyone who sees it, they can like push the clicker button on the camera and then it'll like take a picture of you like using your computer's camera and then it'll like print it out in the FigJam. It's like really cute. It looks like a Polaroid. But yeah, so lots of cool things to explore in your library. And then there's also templates. If you go to like the top right of your FigJam window, you can quickly access templates here, which are kind of like whole file templates instead of just like small things you put on your workspace. But there's different ones for like different meetings that you might have, or you want to, do some icebreaker games or create like a flow diagram for something that you're designing. They have a lot of useful templates there that you can search for, and then those will kind of help you guide like your whole process of using the whole file. Yeah, you can also put images into FigJam, and it kind of acts similarly to the design file, but yeah, you can just like copy and paste them directly into it. And then also like almost like a mask, you can change like the shape of the images that you paste in FigJam. So you'll see like their little edit panel. You can adjust the size, the rotation, or the crop of it. So yeah, it's a lot faster than like having to make a mask. These are like the stamps and emotes that you have built into your toolbar. So if you click like the stamp button, it'll pop up this little panel of different stamps. So there's like, a thumbs up or a +1. If you're brainstorming and you like someone's idea, you can like quickly just put a little +1 there. And these stay on the workspace and you can access them with E. And then emotes, it's like instead of the stamp icon, it's the little like happy face thing in the top of the circle. Those are like it's like a fire emoji or like happy face. And then if you like click and drag, it'll be like showing on your cursor and wherever you like put your mouse on the page, but it won't stay on the workspace. So emotes are temporary, but stamps are like permanent. I mean, not permanent. You can like delete it, but it'll stay on your screen. Yeah, so here's just like an example of utilizing like this camera widget for the picture and then different stamps. And then this is like a template for like a brainstorm for like lab plans using sticky notes. And then people like kind of chime in using their stamps and also the marker to give their feedback on everyone else's ideas. So yeah, lots of visual feedback, and you can also like do voting on here and stuff. So very fun. Yeah, I talked about the timer, but basically in the top right of your panel, there's the timer, and you can just like make a timer and play music and stop it. And the cool thing about the timer is that it's for everyone on the file. So even if you're physically apart, it'll still be there for everyone. And also like a really little cute thing, which doesn't really have a purpose at all. If like you have multiple people on your file and then you go into the hand tool, or you like hold down H, then if you wiggle your cursor, like a big hand will pop up. And then if like another person does it at the same time, they'll like high five and it'll be like a little animation that's really cute and it'll like give you haptic feedback. So it like doesn't really serve a big purpose, but it's really fun to engage with other people on the file in this way. So you should definitely try this out in lab, or if you are on a file with other people. Actually, maybe we can do that later. We'll see. Yeah, another way to communicate is with cursor chat. You can also do this on the regular design files, but basically at any time, you can just press like the slash key on your keyboard and then you can type and that text will be displayed on your cursor, like wherever you are for everyone. I'll show you an example. So like if I'm on this design file, if I just type like slash, you see this like bubble pop up by my cursor and I can just like say hello and then whoever's on the file can also see this. And then it goes like as long as that. And then it'll like eventually fade away or you can push like escape. Oh, escape. Oops. But yeah, it's fun if you're like, you see someone on the file and you just want to pop in and say hi. And then, yeah, just a fun feature too. But that's also temporary. It doesn't stay on your file or anything. Yeah, so while FigJam and Figma are two different kinds of files, they can still, be work together and use the objects in either or. While you can't like create the same things in either file, you can still use them in the other one, if that makes sense. So many objects can be easily copied and pasted from FigJam to Figma or vice versa. And it'll still have all the same properties. So if I make like a sticky note in FigJam, I can like copy and paste it into my design file and still be able to like edit it and stuff. So for example, if I put down a sticky note here and I type something, and this is like in FigJam and stuff, and you see all these settings. But if I copy this, I just like did Command C, and then if I put it into here, you'll see like the sticky note is still here. And I can still edit the text the same way, but the settings are a little different now, where I can like change the fill in the same way that you can in your Figma file. And like the panel that pops up on the top of here is no longer there. So it kind of like adapts to the file it's in, but you can still use it and edit it. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, some FigJam objects when copied over into Figma will be treated as special objects. So they're like the sticky notes, connectors, and shapes, since they're pretty unique to FigJam. Yeah, not the same capabilities, but still editable, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, you can just see here, like the special objects when you put from a FigJam into a Figma, they have their own icons in their layers panel. So the sticky note looks like a little sticky note. The connector is, a connector. And then the shape with text is like a T in a box. So you won't find these icons in any Figma design file created elements. Yeah. So now we'll do like a little demo just to like get a feel for how FigJam is. But there's this file that someone else made, and it kind of just shows you like the basics of FigJam. So you can either like, if you're in the slides, you can click on this, or you can type in this bit.ly link, and then it'll take you to the file that I think we can all be on it. Oh wait, you might have to make a copy of it to use it, but yeah, you should download this file or open it up right now. So I'll give you a second to do that. Let me know if it doesn't work or the link. Otherwise, I'll just assume that it works. it should take you to like the Figma community page like this, and then you can open in FigJam, and then it'll take you to the FigJam file, which should look like that. Can someone raise their hand if they opened it? Okay. Did you have to like make a copy or put it into your own? Oh, okay. Then let's see. What does this file go to? Oh, okay. Well, you should see it, and you can look around the file and kind of play around with it. But yeah, it's just FigJam basics. So like the first example is just showing you how to use sticky notes. You can just push S if you want to like place them down, and then you can also like choose the color, or you can just drag it from your toolbar on the bottom. But practice like putting a sticky note down and like typing something. You can also like make a list in the sticky note. And then while it's selected, you can either create another doing like Command Enter or Control Enter. Actually did not know you could do that, but yeah, you can make a new sticky note, type something else. You can also like change the text and see how there's different styles and different sizes. Oh, you can bold it. You can also like expand the width of the sticky note. Like there's two widths of a sticky note, but yeah, play around with the sticky note. And then after that, you can practice like using connectors and shapes. So let's see. Oh, well, here they like made the shapes for you, and then you can like see how if you click on one, all these little arrows pop up around it. And if I want to make a connection from one side to another shape, then I can just click and drag, and it makes that elbow connector for me. And if I do on the same side, then I think I can do another one here. Yay. And then you can also edit the connectors to make them a little wonkier looking. Let's see. Oh, this one's interesting. You can also change the color. Very nice. Change the style of it. Oh wow, different endpoints. Oh wow, I'm learning a lot about FigJam too. Oh, you can even add text. Wow, that's really cool. And then if you change, oh, and if you move the shape around, the connectors will like stay sticky to it, so they'll like adapt. But wow, who knew you could do so much? I guess I should know that. But okay. Okay, next on oh, unfortunately we're not all in the same file, sadly, but you can practice like the cursor chat. If you type slash, then you can type anything you want. And then wherever you move your cursor will be like around. Oh, mine did something cool. Oh, I think if you type hello, there's like a little thing that pops out of your cursor. Very cool, very cool. Oh, and if you push enter, it'll like make a new line, and then it'll get rid of the old line to exit, and then you can push escape to exit cursor mode or just click out. Let's see what's the next thing. Oh, here we have some beautiful pictures. A picture is worth 1,000 words, they say. Quickly react with disappearing emotes and leave some permanent stamps. So if we go to our stamp icon at the bottom of our toolbar, or if you push E, it'll pop up your little panel to choose from different cool stamps. Be like, wow, I love that. It's, oh, these are emotes. Okay, if I go to stamps, I can put some stars down. Wow, beautiful. Or maybe thumbs up. And then stamps will stay on your workspace, but if you switch to emotes, then you'll see like you can click and drag. It'll show up for everyone on the file. We'll see this as well, but once you like let go, they're gone. So it's just temporary. Oh yeah, very interesting. Yeah, that's stamps and emotes. And then we have some widgets and stickers. So, oh yeah, you guys should try to do the camera one. So if you click like on your library at the bottom or like the plus sign, and I think if you search uh let's see. What is it called? What is this one called? Oh, oh, you're so smart. Wait, do you know what it's called? Oh, photo booth. Wow, thank you. Oh, that didn't work for me. Is there a space? This is interesting. Like how else, what else do you call this? Photo? Maybe it's a no. Huh. Okay, well, I'll just cheat and go here. Okay, maybe if I copy. Oh, it is called photo booth. Okay, well now I have it. I think oh, now it's at the bottom. It's like right there. Um photo. Okay, I don't know why it's not showing up for me, but if you can find it, so can everyone else, I believe. But yeah, try it out. If you like click the red button, it'll pop up like a camera and then you can like take a picture. And then it'll print out on here. And now you have like a picture. It's so cute. Okay. Um, and then lastly, this is kind of just like giving feedback and copying pasting like this into a design file. You can kind of see how they work together, but yeah, you get the idea. There's a lot of little fun things to do in FigJam, and it's definitely worth exploring like the templates and plugins, especially if you're like working on a team for something. That's when you can really utilize all their functions. But yeah, we will move on. So yeah, here are some FigJam use cases. So yeah, talking about the templates, there are a lot of interesting ones that can help you for different kinds of situations, like brainstorms, diagrams, and workshops. And those can be found at the top of your FigJam file. But yeah, here's like some diagramming examples. This is one of like the key functions of FigJam, and utilizing like the shapes in the connectors makes it really easy to create these different flow maps and diagrams. Yeah, always like look for a template if you feel stuck about anything. Another use case is user personas. So if you're kind of doing like research for maybe a UI UX project or something, they have like some templates that you can do to fill out user personas, which helps you understand the different users that might be interacting with your design, and it helps you create a better design to understand how someone might use it. So yeah, they have like cool cards and different characteristic like sliders that you can adjust. There's also just like fun games that you can do on FigJam. Some things are more unconventional, like this haiku composer, which is interesting. Um, yeah. Also, just like a whiteboard. It's just kind of like an open space for you to put your ideas down and work together. So while the tools can be used to create organized diagrams and complex mind maps and everything, you don't have to necessarily use it like that. You can just use it as like a big whiteboard for yourself. Here are some examples of how like the decal team uses it. Like here is our start of the semester FigJam. So we kind of do like introductions. We use sections to like organize what we do, and then like we brainstorm on how to improve like homework or lab or lectures, and then like course overview. Then we have like a calendar of like the semester at a glance, and then sticky notes to show all of our weeks and their topics and stuff like that. So yeah, that's one way that we use it practically. But yeah. Okay, so now we will talk about Figma Community, which isn't like a style of file or anything. It's just kind of like all the examples and resources through Figma. that people can post their own like templates or plugins that they make or anything like that. So it's kind of just like a resource base in Figma. So yeah, it's a space for all users to discover resources, get inspiration, and support other creators in Figma. It aims to make design accessible for everyone. So community is like a big part of Figma and the company's like vision. So you can contribute your own files by publishing them or developing plugins that are public for everyone else to use. And there's a lot of useful things like UI kits, wireframes, FigJam templates, and so on. It's kind of similar to like Behance or Dribble, if you've ever used those. It's basically like kind of like a social media or like a portfolio posting like platform for designers and creatives. But yeah, this is like directly on Figma for Figma. So everything in Figma community can be used in Figma. So they're all like files or plugins. And then also with like the new update of Figma slides and presentations, they have a lot of templates for those as well. So yeah, there's community files that are user created. So anyone can create these and publish them. And then anyone can view them and duplicate them for yourself. And then you can edit your own file of this. Plugins are a third-party add-on features, kind of like Google extensions or Chrome extensions, but for Figma or FigJam. And these can like make your designing a lot easier since there's some things that you can't do in Figma. For example, like removing backgrounds, that's like something that is very painful to have to like go to Photoshop to do or something, but someone made a plugin. So whenever you paste an image or something in Figma, you can run this plugin on that image and then it'll like get rid of the background, which is very, very useful. Or there's like ones that analyze like the color contrast to make it like more web accessible and stuff like that. So anyone can like install these or create them, and they're super useful. And then there's also prototypes, which are published that are just like the prototype view. So it's kind of just like the presentation view of someone's prototype, not exactly like their file and all the things in their canvas, but you can still interact with it by duplicating it. So to find like Figma community on your Figma app, it's in like the top left corner, very, very small and hard to find sometimes, but it's right next to like your home page or your profile button. So yeah, you can search for specific files or just explore resources. So this is what like the home page of Figma community looks like. There's like some different filters that you can choose, a big search bar, and then at the top it usually shows like featured files or things that might be relevant to you. But right now there's a lot of slide templates because that's like the newest feature in Figma. So lots of cool things about that. And then you can also like sort the feed based on like trending or recent or things that you're following. And then a lot of other organizations. But this is like what it looks like. So you have all like the slide. You can see like all the presentation templates they have, which there's some pretty nice ones actually. Yeah, better options than Google Slides, I might add. And then if we go back, other design resources. So these are like a lot of UI kits or design kits. And then here's like the list of plugins. So this is like the remove background one I was talking about. I would highly recommend this if you have trouble with like removing backgrounds from images. And then there's also really interesting ones that can like create code based on your design. So if you want to like code a website, you can design it in Figma and then some things will link it to like Framer or Webflow. And then these plugins will translate that into an active website with code. So very, very cool. This one like curves text arc since you can't do that in Figma as well. And then here's some other FigJam assets that you can explore and widgets. Oh, here's the photo booth one finally. And then like popular categories, so templates, design tools, visual assets, whiteboarding, blah, blah, blah. Lots of things to explore in Figma community. So yeah, whenever you click on like a a resource in Figma Community. It'll kind of like show you this, which is like a preview of what the file is and the title, description, and then a place where you can like open it in Figma or bookmark it or save it. And then things that are related to that and comments that people post, like reviews, and then also tags, which is kind of like just keywords that give you the gist of what it is. But yeah. And then there's also creators in Figma. So Figma Decal is actually one that has all of our resources public. So all of these like slide decks for lectures, homework assignments, and labs, those are all on our Figma community page. So you can see those at any time and duplicate them and make your own versions. But yeah, you can see everyone else's who is a creator on Figma. Everything that they post, it'll be organized under their profile. And you can follow them, like their things, comment, publish. But yeah, you don't necessarily have to have a public profile in order to interact with Figma community. But you can if you want to. So yeah, it's mainly used for finding inspiration for your designs, quicken your workflows by using different plugins, finding templates to, kind of like guide your FigJam brainstorms or meetings, or even just like kickstart your design process for something. If you see like a good example that you kind of want to work off of, it's totally okay to just like duplicate someone's file and then, build off of that. Oh yeah, I guess I kind of already explored it, but yeah, very fun. At the top are like the more immediate filters for design resources, plugins, whiteboarding, and then presentations. So yeah, lots of interesting things. This is like someone's presentation template. So you can see like the previews here. It even like that. This one is from Figma, the source. This is like some things that they put out. And then you can use this template to create your own version of the slide deck or save it or like it. And then here's like more information about this file, the comments. They have a whopping someone said so basic. Oof. Yeah, and then like some other things by this creator. Yeah, but any questions about Figma community or FigJam in general? Okay. I'll just show you some more like examples of useful files. This is like a brand style guide. So if you want to like do a branding project or make your own brand, this will kind of give you some helpful tips and like guidelines of what you should do and what things you need to do that. This is some interesting posters that people made. This one's like an avatar illustration system. So if you want to make like a bunch of different avatars for like a game or, any design, this will kind of set an example for that. This is some examples of like product mock-ups. So if you have like a tube of like skincare or something or an app or, both together, there's some interesting mock-ups that you can fill in your own designs with. This is a material design system. So this gives you like a lot of icons that you can use for like UI designs or components like buttons, drop-down menus, stuff like that. It helps to like find these files so you don't have to make them all from scratch yourself. It saves a lot of time and keeps them consistent as well. User research, FigJam template. So, this is like user personas, empathy maps, journey maps to help you understand like the users that will be interacting with your design if you want to. And then this one's also just like for fun. It's like Catan, but they Figma-fied it. And it is playable. So you could play like a board game in Figma. Super cool. Here's like a little Zelda maker using like someone made all like the assets. So cute. Also a resume template. You could do that easily in Figma. Someone did Tetris as well. A lot of interesting games and fun things that you can explore. But yeah. So, well, lastly, we'll just talk about like finding inspiration and how to distill ideas and research into a cohesive design approach. So yeah, getting started with a new design project can feel overwhelming a lot of times. So here are just some ways to kind of spark your inspiration and get your mind flowing. There's a lot of online resources that you can find inspiration from, some unexpected sources, and just being able to like funnel and organize your inspiration helps you kind of get a grasp of what you want to create. So some other links that are useful resources, these are kind of all different like platforms that show a lot of examples, or people post their own designs on these and you can gain inspiration from other creators. So yeah, obviously we have like Figma Community, also Dribble, which is big for product design, UI, UX. Save It is a device for creating mood boards. Pinterest is, I'm sure everyone knows Pinterest, just like a bunch of images of anything really that you could think of is on Pinterest, and you can make your own boards to kind of organize what you find. I use that a lot. And then this is a Chrome extension for daily design inspiration. And this one's for like motion design. But yeah, learning from like other fellow designers is a great way to find inspiration. And people are always trying new things. So seeing those and kind of like adapting and shaping your design eye is a great way to find inspiration. But yeah, it's not just from other designers or graphic design or anything, but you can find inspiration from anything in life. So many like packages I see like at the grocery store or just like out and about. There's so many good designs. Also a lot of bad designs, which kind of helps you like develop your like design skills and eye, because I think finding bad designs is a good way to figure out how you would make it better and practice your own design skills mentally. Fashion is also a good way to get inspiration. People express themselves a lot through fashion. And then also architecture. These are all like very different areas, but they're all design related, and they can help you kind of like translate that feeling or that vibe into a visual design that you want. And yeah, it's important to note that the inspiration is not the same as copying. So if you're ever using like a piece of someone else's work, make sure that if they give uh like consent online, I guess, or like make sure that they're okay with it, or you're giving credit where credit is due, or ask for permission. Um, Also, combine multiple sources of inspiration to ensure that you're not copying someone's. That's a good way to kind of do that. And then also just add your own twist to something that you see to make it different. And through a lot of like designing, you'll kind of discover your own style, which then you can kind of make sure that it's straight from your brain, not from someone else's. And yeah, organizing inspiration is also important to help you kind of, get from thought to paper. So having a place to save your inspiration is important, whether that's just like taking a picture and having like a photo album, or like a mood board on Figma or FigJam, or just like a Pinterest board is really, really helpful to be able to like reference and, tackle what you actually want to do. So some other tips for mood boarding: be clear about the project's goal. At the end of the day, you're finding inspiration for a specific thing, usually. So you want to make sure that those things actually align with the goal of what you're trying to design. Also, starting with keywords, like what do you want the mood board to convey? If you have like kind of a vision for what you want to design, or the style of it, or like the vibe or the aesthetic, that can be a helpful way to kind of hone in on what you want to do. And then also just using your mood boards to explore new ideas and concepts quickly before diving into one. So kind of like, explore different things before you choose one thing that's final. Any questions about finding inspiration or design resources? Okay, we will wrap up this lecture. But homework 6, there's no homework assignment, just continue to work on your midterm project. Hopefully you can choose your prompts and then have something by lab on Thursday, so you can kind of get feedback from your peers and your TA before you turn it in. But yeah, I know it's like pretty busy time of the semester, and this is like your first chance to do whatever you want to do using Figma and the tools that you've learned. So, it is what you make it. Do something that actually interests you, I would suggest. And yeah, don't put it off till the last minute because that will bite you in the butt. But if you ever like need an extension, don't be afraid to ask your TA for it, or feedback or anything. And then yeah, lab 6 is midterm critique. So you'll be using FigJam, and then everyone kind of like paste what they have so far, and then you can give feedback to other people, and then this will kind of help you finish off your design or guide where you're gonna go. But yeah, you also get to utilize all the fun tools in FigJam that you learned today. And the secret word will be raspberry. Raspberry. I think I thought of that because like fig jam and like jam and raspberry jam. Yeah. Spell that however you think raspberry is spelled in your brain. Yeah. No homework, work on the midterm, and then go to lab for midterm critique. And then if you ever need feedback, don't hesitate to reach out to your TAs or me for help or feedback or anything. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys all for coming and good luck with the midterm.